to do with you? My fucking guitar. It's the brute force.
Declaring there are rock stars, and then there's Pete Townshend, the sonic architect of The Who, the man who smashed guitars like it was an act of protest, and a sharp-tongued critic who didn't just make noise on stage. He made noise about everything wrong with rock music off stage, too. He wasn't just a rebel with a guitar. Townshend was a revolutionary with a mission, and if he thought a band was faking it, watering down the genre, or selling out to corporations, he'd call them out, loudly and publicly.
These days, one didn't see it very often, and I saw Mick Jagger on the stage, and God, I mean, it did me in.
And trust us, no one was safe. Not the kings of prog rock, not the icons of American radio, not even the punk rockers he helped inspire. Today on Rock Fame Diaries, we're diving into Pete Townshend's most blistering takedowns of legendary bands, the feuds that rocked the rock world.
Triangle was going to be The Who, The Stones, and The Faces. Rod Stewart never got in the loop. I think he may have been unkeen on the...
Number 1. Led Zeppelin, Stolen Sound and Fake Glory. Let's start with the feud that shocked everyone. You'd think two British rock juggernauts like The Who and Led Zeppelin would have mutual respect, right? Wrong. Townshend reportedly despised Zeppelin. Not just mildly, he said he hadn't liked a single thing they'd ever done. Ouch. His biggest issue? He believed Led Zeppelin built their success on uncredited blues riffs, stolen from black American artists. To Townshend, that wasn't just lazy, it was exploitative. While Zeppelin was climbing to the top with thunderous drums and screeching solos, Townshend was trying to push rock forward with concept albums and meaningful commentary. He saw Zeppelin as a loud, hollow echo of the past, recycling the blues with no vision for the future. Even worse, Townshend couldn't stand being compared to them. He felt their success overshadowed bands that were doing real innovation, and he reportedly avoided events where Zeppelin members would be present. He saw their legacy as fraudulent and dangerous to rock's future. Number 2. The Eagles. Rock for people who don't like rock. Next up, the Eagles. Their soft harmonies and massive hits like Hotel California ruled the radio, but to Townshend, they represented everything wrong with American rock. He believed the Eagles sold out completely, trading passion for polish. Their music, in his view, wasn't about art, it was about product. He supposedly mocked their songs as made for FM radio, not real emotional expression. While they topped charts and won Grammys, Townshend saw them as part of a corporate takeover of rock music. Their influence, he feared, would push young bands to play it safe, ditch experimentation for smooth, marketable melodies. In his words, the Eagles were rock for people who didn't actually like rock. Brutal. Number 3. Yes. Musical gymnastics with no soul. Then there's Yes, the crown jewel of progressive rock. But to Townshend, their complex 20-minute opuses weren't revolutionary. They were musical masturbation. He hated how their songs felt elitist, like puzzles only music theorists could appreciate. Rock, to him, was for the masses, raw, immediate, and emotional. While critics celebrated Yes' sophistication, Townshend reportedly felt they were turning rock into a private club for intellectuals, far removed from its working-class roots. And the worst part? Their influence. Townshend worried they were training a new generation of bands to think complexity mattered more than honesty, rebellion, or impact. Number 4. Genesis, post-Peter Gabriel. The betrayal of art rock. When Peter Gabriel left Genesis, the band shifted from surreal prog to slick pop, and Pete Townshend was furious. Under Phil Collins, Genesis became an MTV staple. Their songs were catchy, their music videos everywhere. But Townshend reportedly saw this as a full-scale betrayal of everything Genesis once stood for. He compared watching their transformation to watching your kids grow up to become the very thing you fought against. Genesis, in his eyes, abandoned innovation in favor of radio hits. And their success, it only fueled his rage. It showed other prog bands that selling out paid off. Townshend thought they became entertainment products, not artists, and he wasn't afraid to say it. Number 5. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Rock's overproduced circus act. Emerson, Lake and Palmer were known for virtuosity, massive orchestras, and dramatic stage theatrics. Townshend hated all of it. He reportedly thought their use of classical music and synthesizers was just showboating, a way to mask weak songwriting and emotional emptiness. He mocked Keith Emerson's spinning keyboards and multi-hand techniques, calling it a circus act that had nothing to do with real rock. To him, rock didn't need to compete with Mozart. It needed to connect with people, make them feel something, maybe even change their lives. But ELP, Townshend thought they were turning rock into highbrow nonsense, killing the genre's rebellious soul. Number 6. Sex Pistols. Fake punk, real sellouts. Now, you'd think Pete Townshend, the guy who practically invented on-stage rebellion, would love the Sex Pistols. Nope. He allegedly saw them as manufactured chaos, created by Malcolm McLaren to shock, not to stand for anything real. He thought their rebellion was a marketing stunt, not genuine anger or cultural commentary. Worse, he slammed their musical ability, claiming they were so bad at playing their instruments that it was an insult to serious musicians. To Townshend, punk wasn't born in '77. He believed the Who had been confronting authority and raising hell years before the Pistols arrived. And he was livid when critics pretended otherwise. He didn't just think they were bad, he thought they were posers who hijacked a movement he helped build. Pete Townshend didn't just make music, he made statements. Loud ones. And whether you agreed with him or not, one thing's clear. He wasn't afraid to call out phoniness, pretension, or profit-driven art. To him, rock was a tool for revolution, and if you weren't using it to shake the world, then you were just making noise. So what do you think? Were his criticisms fair? Or was he just being a rock purist stuck in the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let the debate rage on. If you enjoyed this trip through rock's most savage critiques, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is Rock Fame Diaries, where music legends live, feud, and never go quietly. God bless.